Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the countdown to the 100 days in office, measuring the impact of Governor Okpebholo. Well, joining us virtually is a political analyst, political affairs commentator, and of course a very, very strong member of the PDP, of Chip 10 of the PDP. Join me to welcome Fares Okpebholo. Fares, it's a pleasure to have you join us virtually.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Ado people.
All right. We'll be listening to Audu Mohammed, their chief Gadaga, on the impact the current administration is having on Edo citizens, because we are trying to, assess his, how will I put it, achievement thus far, because we are gradually getting towards 100 days in office. Generally speaking, what do you have to say about this administration being led by Governor Okpebholo when we take a look at getting towards 100 days in office? Fares, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. You see, this is the first time in the history of Edo State that we have a government that is celebrating 100 days in office with zero achievements and zero impact to show for it. The current administration in Edo State has been nothing short of a failure, has been nothing short of abysmal. The performance has been abysmal, and it is very surprising that we can have APC members come on national TV and try to rationalize the failure of the administration. We see a government who, for the first time, Edo State has always been in the news for the wrong reasons. Every time you see Edo State in the news now, it is always for the wrong reasons. Edo State has become a laughing stock in the community of states, and it's very embarrassing. We have a governor now who cannot even pronounce the figures in his own budget, presentation, which became a national embarrassment to our state. We have seen recently where every day now market women are on the street protesting, bus drivers on the street protesting, communities now, they've returned community development associations and all of that. And then you see the level of harassment of Edo people on the streets, and you see the illegality that is going on in local governments and all over across the state. You tell a very disturbing tale of where this government met Edo State and where they have brought us in the last 100 days, with nothing, zero achievement, nothing to show for it. When they came in, they met a state that was productive, a state where the IGRO of the state was about 11 billion a month and 10 billion a month. And then in the first month that they came in, it dropped to 3 billion naira a month. It was only last month where MPDC paid a huge bulk of their yearly obligations. They paid their taxes ahead, and that's why they were able to raise revenue for last month. You could tell that everything in the state right now is going backward. In terms of security, we see recently where a traditional ruler was kidnapped in Edo State. A traditional ruler was kidnapped in Edo State and had to pay ransom to release the traditional ruler. We see where the people who were assembled in the name of security by the governor were protesting in the street against the same government. It tells you that Edo is lagging behind. It tells you that there's a serious problem right now. It tells you that there's no government in Edo State right now, that Edo State is currently on auto reverse.
All right, I will come back to you, Fares. Well, how do you heard him? He gave reasons why he said that the state is on auto reverse. He talked about, the court, talked about Edo Security Corps protesting. Talked about people being harassed in the street. He talked about kidnapping, yes, we talked about, and of course, the dip in the IGR from 11 to 3 billion. Thank God that one established choose to pay the tax up front and were able to garner one or two things. In all, Fares is opining that the state is not what it used to be compared to the time of the former administration being led by Governor Godwin Obaseki.
Okay, you see, it is rather unfortunate that PDP members who come on national TV to want to brand the government of less than 100 days with all manner of lies. My brother Fares, your government just left power November 11. And I least expect, in fact, for me, it's a shame when you hear PDP members come on national TV to talk about failure here, failure there. What we are experiencing in Edo today is correcting the wrongs of the previous administration. I know I've spoken about the security challenges we have in Edo. He bringing the issue of members of Edo State Security Network protesting. We all know what is going on there. And one thing they should bear in mind is this. What was the protest all about? It should tell us what they're protesting about. What were the issues? Why are they protesting? You know? So the most important part is, are we getting it right security-wise? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Before PDP government
getting it right, how come we have cases of kidnapping?
Yes, my brother Winston. Like I said before, it's not going to be what we experience is what has happened in previous administration, taken over by this administration. So you don't expect it to just finish overnight. I gave you instances under the PDP administration led by Governor Godwin Obaseki. You can testify to it. I even did a report on it. The rate of killing within the urban region of the state, within Benin metropolis, that people cannot go out at night. But to the where are we? How is it in Edo now? Can we sleep very well now? The answer is yes. Before what's it called? Senator Okpebholo came into government, we already have the anti-cultist law bill. But he came in and passed it. What the previous government couldn't have the mind to do. To the how do you see the state? Yes, there are security challenges in some rural areas. I just gave you instance of my own village where I'm from. From Hosea, it's on Artist Local Council. We have the same issue. It is not what happened started today. It was passed on from the previous administration. We didn't start crying today. We've been crying before now. We even went as far as cry when the previous administration passed the law against what's it called, the what do they call it again, the anti-grazing law. We came out because even when they passed the anti-grazing law, they didn't enforce it. There was still insecurity in these areas. So, at least with the result we have had in Benin Metropolis, you should be rest assured that definitely this will continue to go straight to the rural areas, to the villages where this kidnapping, the Onogi that was kidnapped was released unhurt.
He said after paying ransom.
But he has alleged. Well, I don't know where he got the information from. Maybe he was the one that paid, or maybe he was the one that went to give the kidnappers the money. But I'm not aware of that because I knew it was in the news. Even your TV station aired it. That even the head of the State Security Network came out and said they had a fought to get the Onoge released. So the truth of the matter is this: we get it right, and we already started getting it right. Things are already moving in the right direction. He talked about the issue of market women protesting. I'm a market man. I'm a salarian. I'm a market man. I am in the market morning, afternoon, evening, every day of the week, apart from Sunday. I've never seen market people gathering to protest. What we only saw is some group of persons gathering to say they don't want the present Iyeki, I don't know what they call her, what they call them, that they don't want the Iyeki as their Iyeki, right? So you don't just say because some few persons are fighting politically, you brand it to say, oh, everybody in the market are already complaining about the government. Will market women complain about a government who came on board and scrapped the issue of, how did they call them again, market union, that has affected the reduction of price of goods and services in our market? Come on now, let's be realistic.
For what Farai said that there is a comeback.
Let's be realistic. We too patronize these markets. Like I said, I am always in the market every day, and I understand what is going on. A governor came in and saw the oppression market women are going through. Market women will go to village to bring leaves to bring fish and other, to bring yams to the market, union will say you will not sell to a particular person. He came in and scrapped market union. And so that government is about college. Why come on national television to want to paint the government with Don't come here. You gave him his time.
Sure,
so I needed to clarify some of the lies my brother has.
For me to ask him another question.
I agree with you. So the truth of the matter is this: Senator Monday Okpebholo's administration is taking Edo to another level of prosperity.
All right.
Of progress.
Now,
what we have seen now is practical governance, not the governance they do on the internet. I told you before. It was in the previous administration we found out that Commissioner took over the job of commissioners, and commissioners were on Facebook insulting people who were trying to criticize constructively the government of Governor Obaseki.
All right, now, Farid, you've heard him. He says more things that you said are not true. He gave reasons for his claim. Now, let's take a look at the aspect of the return, so to speak, like what you said, CDAs, they've returned, or they are back right now. Can you please expatiate on that allegation?
Yes, well, if you go to communities today, you can do your own investigation. Go to communities today. There's been a return of the dreaded CDA. Go to many communities, they started collecting what they call development levies. They started collecting money for roofing and all sort of illegal levies, taxes on property developers in the state. And I'm surprised that my brother there is trying to paint white into black. You know, it's very disturbing. We saw in the last administration of Governor Obaseki a government that digitalized the collection of revenue. If you go to Oba markets, if you go to many of the markets, the revenues were collected by state actors who, everything was done by POS. And then that was, that angered a popular, there was a popular person in the state here that used to collect revenue. They would collect 200 million a month, and they were giving the state a million naira in revenue that the previous government, banned them, and then, digitalized the revenue system in the state, which increased our state revenue. Today, the administration of Monday Okpebholo has gone back to that level where, thugs are now being contracted to collect revenue for the state. And what does that mean? It means that we are back to the stage whereby, bus drivers, if you go to Ring Road today, you see people holding stick, holding all sorts of pipes and whips on Ring Road, Oba Market Road, as if they are dealing with cows. We have gone back to that era whereby people will now collect revenue in cash and then pay whatever they like into government coffers. That's what they return the state to, and it portends a great danger for our state because the reality today is that when you put such kind of people into revenue collection, you create a system whereby there's no accountability. You cannot account for whatever is coming in. You cannot account for what is going. You are just lining people's pocket with money, and that is what the state government is doing, using state resources to compensate political actors, in the name of revenue collection or revenue enforcement. You don't need people to enforce revenue. When you put a system in place that works very well, a digital system that works well, people will go and they pay their revenues and they pay their taxes. You don't need to start holding sticks in Ring Road, start flogging market women, start flogging hawkers to get revenue from them. What the previous government did was digitalize. You didn't see talks on the street of Benin flogging market women for revenue. That's on that side. And then, like I said before, go to the communities. You can do your own investigation. Go to communities and investigate. And you find out that as property developers in Edo State today, particularly in Edo South, you find out that there've been a dramatic and drastic return of CDA. The CDA that was banned under the previous administration. They've been allowed to come back. They are operating now in a very vicious manner. And then when my brother talks about the fact that security has improved and that the Onoje who was kidnapped didn't pay a dime for his release, it's laughable. The video is on the internet where the Onoje himself was alluding to the fact that he paid ransom, 50 million naira to be released, and that the people of his community had to contribute that money together to pay for his release. That tells you where we are today as a state. That tells you how we are as a people. Now we have a governor that Edo people are not proud of. You cannot look on the TV and say, "Oh, this is my governor speaking." Every time you see the governor in public appearance, you are afraid that the governor would not embarrass Edo people. Look at a government who would present a budget, a document who's supposed to
Farais,
you go out on national TV and embarrass Edo people.
I will come back to you, Farais. Calm down. I will come back to you. We need time for Audu Mohammed to react to some of your point. Now, he raised close to 3 or 4 points. I talked about the return of this CDAs. Yes. And I've heard a wave of this that they're beginning to come back. Some developers, you pay for molu, pay for roofing and all that. Yes, someone reported to me that this is what is going on in the communities. Now, that is on one hand. He talked about the tech put in place by the present administration for revenue generation, revenue collection. Right now, that has been destroyed. They no longer use it. They've gone back again to the old manual ways of using stakes to collect revenue just to line the pockets of non-political actors that were loyal, are still loyal to the ruling party. Please stress on these 2 points.
Okay, let me start by the issue of revenue collection. Yesterday morning, I have a picture on my phone where I snapped the women, as in not young girls, but women who are in charge of collecting revenue from bus drivers. It's in my phone. Because you see, like I said before, when we come on TV, let us speak to facts. Let us tell the people the real deal. Let us tell them the truth. The SSG, Secretary of State Government of this administration, came out and said it is the duty of Edo State Board of Internal Revenue to collect revenue. They already have a template that they've been using and they will continue with that template. The picture I have in my phone is a picture of 2 ladies who are revenue collectors in Edo that collect revenue with the same POS from bus drivers.
But remember that one time the drivers, they protested. They blocked the road, saying this enough is enough. That they cannot pay chairman chop money and some other levies.
If the drivers protest about chairman chop money, they know they have their association, right? They know who is their chairman. But I can tell you, as I sit with you here, I can tell you categorically that this government collects revenue with POS, not Okpebholo. And these POS, the ones that I've seen, are ladies that are collecting this revenue. You can take your camera to anywhere around the Benin metropolis. You will see these women collecting revenue. So in the issue of tax force, there was tax force during the previous administration. I was a victim. Normally, I use the delivery van. It is not their duty to check delivery van. Their duty is to check buses that run the road on every minute and every second. They heard me and destroyed my bus. Till today, the door of my bus, my delivery van, is 40.
In this administration?
Yeah, in the previous administration of Obaseki.
Previous of this administration?
Yes, if my brother Farais is saying there is no enforcers during the previous administration, come on now. God is watching us. There was enforcers. If you don't enforce, we know how we are. If you don't enforce, how do you account for revenue? He was talking about the issue of those things.
Hold on, are you calling those guys now enforcers of the law?
They are enforcers of revenue. You see them.
And collecting money with stakes.
I said I was a victim. I was a victim. I'm not talking because I just want to talk. I was a victim. And I was in my delivery van. I was going to my factory when they accosted me by this junction and they destroyed my delivery van. The videos were on Facebook. I posted this. Yes, during Obaseki. During Governor Obaseki's administration. I said I was a victim of those people who call themselves task force. Right? The same task force he is complaining about now, Governor Obaseki used them under his administration. So what are we not talking about? So say Okpebholo are collecting revenue in this state. That is total lies from the pit of hell. I can tell you categorically. I said I snapped them yesterday. I purposely snapped it to put in my phone so that in case of more argument, I can say this is it. I still saw these ladies collecting revenue with POS around Benin Metropolis. So where is the Okpebholo coming in from? Where is the Okpebholo coming in from? So that is the issue of revenue.
What about the CDAs?
The CDA, those are lies. Those are lies. They should bring proof now.
What about the report I got that some persons in communities will say, give us roofing money? Emolo, different kinds of, fees being levied on developers.
My brother, I still stand till tomorrow to say it, that those are lies. If some people come to meet you in your land to say give them money, you are giving them money because you want to give them money. Did you hear of the parent governor say they have brought back CDA? Did he bring back CDA? CDA has been abolished, has been abolished forever. Did you hear him bring back CDA? That's no. So if somebody come to meet you and say give me money, is it not to give the person money? So you don't blame government for you going to give somebody free money and you are blaming government. Oh, government, should government come and stand with you when you are building your house? Is good government that will come and stand with you when you are building your house? If somebody come to illegally attack you when you are building your house, what do you need to do? Is it not go to report at the nearest police station? I don't know if you understand me now, because whether you like it or not, if anybody coming to harass you in your place where you are building your house, you should know that that person lives within that particular vicinity. So you know what to do to pick up that person so that the person can refund the money back. The previous government disbanded CDA. Ask again, as Senator Okpebholo brought back CDA. See, the truth is this. PDP does not have anything to criticize this government with. We saw a governor who came in on November 12th, increased the money given to AAU from 42 billion to 500 million. We saw a government who didn't waste time appointing men into critical arms of government to run government. That is how to know a governor who is ready to deliver. We saw a governor who is moving around various areas where projects are taking place in Edo and making sure that standard jobs are done. Fares is my brother. We are from the same place. Fares understands the pressure we pass through on the Benin Auchi Road. I expect Fares to give Governor Okpebholo accolade for working on that 8 kilometers between Obadan and Urekme, because now we cannot drive freely, sweetly to our various areas.
All right. Well, Fares, you've heard Mohammed's response to some of your claims. Now let's take a look at the aspects of schools. Right now, the governor said once it gets to 100 days, and because we're approaching it gradually, many schools will be unveiled.
Yes, thank you. I see. I like to speak. I like to speak to.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
I like to speak to facts, and when I speak, I like to speak based on facts. So I'm sorry, I have to drag you back to the issue of the protest by bus drivers. I'm holding here a video on my phone from ITV Facebook page, and the report was last month by Patience Osarogedua, where she covered the protest by bus drivers who were protesting extortion, and it was covered by your own ITV, Patience Osarogedua. You can go to ITV page, it is there. So when I speak facts. When I said that the level of extortion going on in the state today is unprecedented, I'm speaking from facts. And you can go, you see bus drivers
extortion by who?
Protesting.
Extortion by who? Extortion by who? He has the floor. Who is extorting the people?
Hold on.
Extortion by who? Extortion by who?
You react to it.
No, but I don't like when he said extortion. By who?
He has the floor. Forrest, please continue.
You had your time, sir. You had your time. You had your time, sir. You had your time. This is. I'm speaking from ITV's own page. Go to ITV's page. It is there. Last month, the report was done by Patience Osarogedua. She did that report, and it was about the extortion that the bus drivers were protesting about. So that's just on one side. And then secondly, my brother said that I should give the governor accolades for the work that is being done on the Benin Auchi Road. We seem to develop a culture of telling lies, a culture of deceit, a culture whereby we think people can come into governance and fool the people. The Benin Auchi Road, the work that is being done there is being done by the BUA company. The governor going there to go and do photo ops with a project that is not his own is laughable. The Benin Sapele Road that the governor also went to recently is being done by the federal government. The governor going there to go and do photo ops is just on a mission of self-deceit. Because we know right now, every government that has come in, in the last 16 years, be it Adams Oshomole, be it Osumbo, be it Obaseki, when they come, the first thing they do in the 100 days is that they quickly patch the roads. In the state, they quickly patch all the roads to make the roads. Because most times government come in within the dry season because of our transition of government in those states. Government come in mostly around November like that. And what they do is that they quickly try to patch the road. For the first time, we are not seeing a massive patching of roads. Look at the roads in the GRA right now. Nobody is attending to them, and the rains are almost here. How we are seeing the governor is going to roads that the federal government is doing, Sapele Road, or is going to road where Bua is doing, and taking photo ops and put it on social media to say that the government is doing. The government right now of Edo State have nothing, absolutely nothing to show Edo people in the last 100 days, apart from the fact that what the government has done is create a system that embodies corruption. Imagine a government that appointed a commissioner in December, only to sack the same commissioner in the end of January for gross corruption. That's to tell you the level of stealing that is going on. People are looting at those state resources. A government that came in made over 30-something billion naira in the treasury, and right now the state is broke. There's 0 naira inside the state account. The state government that came that made over 16 billion naira in a Sopadec account, that came and made so many monies that the previous government left for the government, over 40-something billion naira that the previous government left. What did the government do? They went into shopping spree, buying vehicles for party leaders, buying vehicles for those who have no business with governance, using bulletproof vehicles to do Sarah for people on the streets. And then what did they do? They ran the state down. They ran the finances down. Now they spend 5 billion naira. They spend 5 billion naira in an inauguration of the governor. They spent another 5 billion naira in buying bulletproof vehicles for the government, and the deputy governor. 5 billion naira. The facts are all there. And right now, as we speak, tell them to publish the account of the state. They have nothing, absolutely nothing inside. They've run down the state in the last 100 days. There is nothing. The state is currently broke.
I'll come back to you, Farais. Well, you heard him. He talked about the case of corruption. And really, one person, two were appointed, and you know the story so far.
Yes.
Now, let's dive into what he alleged, that the state is broke due to massive, unchecked corruption.
The state is broke, but the governor just bought buses to revamp Edo line that the previous government killed. The state is broke. The state is broke. The government just bought losses to be distributed to all the security architecture in Edo State, right? The government is broke. The governor is renovating schools across the 18 local governments in Edo State. You see, it is rather unfortunate. It's rather unfortunate. Like as I said before, I think PDP members ought to be ashamed to come out to talk about a government of less than 100 days for their own government that just left power for 8 years, right? Now, I don't know if my brother Farais is now the account officer of Edo State accounts in all the banks to now know that all the government is broke, the government cannot, because he's saying the government IGRO dropped, it has increased a little. The government does not have anything to show. I just gave you, the government just bought buses to reawaken Edo line that the previous administration killed. Where did they get the money from? So we shouldn't come online or on air to want to brand a beautiful government that is just starting, and starting very well, with lies. We all understand or know how the previous administration ran the state, how they use consultants to want to own everything. When this government of Senator Okpebholo saw what it meant on ground, it set up a committee to check what the previous administration did. And the report is everywhere, and I believe your news channel carried that report. It's everywhere. How money were spent without this Edo State government getting to know how those money went about. So the truth of the matter is this: Edo State, as we speak, is on the right track. We have a government who is practical now, not the government who, because they believe that what you do is, under in office, you gather people, you put a big screen, you start to analyze data. Well, this government does not believe in data analyzing. Data will not go and tar road. Data analyzing will not go and build school. Data analyzing will not put lights in houses of citizens of Edo State. What this government is interested in is, how do I get the lives of Edo people better? How do I secure the state? How do I get things done rightly? How do we use the resources of the state for the betterment of the people of the state? And whether we like it or not, Senator Okpebholo has started very well. His 100 days in office is beautiful. I mentioned some roads, even the one he's doing in Ekpoma right now, Ile houses, the one he's doing in Edo Central, Esan Central, Irwa. He has different projects across board. The thing is this: at times I wonder how you expect so much from a government that we have 4 years in 100 days. What I expected them to have been looking at is, how has it started? What has it done? And whether I like it or not, the government has actually mapped out his mantra to deliver his 5-point agenda for Edo people. He was going to say he's going to do road. He started doing roads. He said we're going to work on education. He gave out 500 million naira monthly now to AU. This same government just struggled to make sure they get the medical students who graduated from the school years back to be inducted, what the previous administration could not do. So tell me, who is now loving Edo people more? Is it not a government who believes that 125 families that have spent so much to take their children to school, to read medicine for almost 8 years, to be inducted into the medical line? What the previous administration could not do, this government have done it in less than 100 days. 125 families are now happy that they now have doctors as graduates in their family. So what are you criticizing the government over? The government should be applauded. He's saying something. He talked something about the issue of what's it called? The Bina Ochiro, the Obadan. It is the state government that is handling that particular project.
But is that the federal government working on it right now?
Your channel did a report on it, and it was specific. It is the state government that is doing palliative measure on that 8 kilometers, because that place is an eyesore. By the time it starts to rain, it's going to be very difficult for people to go through it. So the government of Edo State is trying to do palliative measure between Obadan, and it represents to be easier for people to go through.
Are you saying the federal government doesn't have any input?
The federal government doesn't have input in that palliative measure that is being carried out between Obadan and Irepe. Go and check it. The job Boa is doing is concrete. What Boa is doing right now, the road Boa has been sent to do is concrete road. What they're doing now is tying the road with asphalt. What the government is doing now is tying that particular part of the road with asphalt. So I don't know. And on your report, it was stated specifically that it is the government that is handling that particular aspect, so that we can go through those areas freely.
TMI, every opinion counts.
All right, thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We are doing a countdown to 100 days measuring the impact of Okpebholo's administration. And I have Fares Okpebholo joining us visually, and Mohammed Audu. Yes, Chief Agadaga. Anyway, they are speaking from the passion they have for their political party. Mind you, this discussion is aimed at making Edo State better. All right, we must surely have some persons that must be there to make sure that things are done decently and in order in every administration. Now we have to go for that break, and Fares talked about some things that are really bugging the mind of Edo people. Okay, you saw the report about Chief saying what is happening right now in the Iyeki saga. They've not experienced this before for over a century, because that position is traditionally, meant to elect or select leadership of the market. But as you know, there have been protests, particularly rocking that sector. All right. Now, this report also about the tech-savvy civil service or the tech-savvy governance that was kept in place by the present administration led by Governor Godwin Obaseki. They should get to ministries, department, agencies right now. It's like it's no longer functional. What do you have to say about this?
The issue of Iyeki. Iyeki is not appointed by Edo State government. Like as you rightly said, it's a traditional way of giving somebody an opportunity to take care of the markets across the state. So I do not see how that affects or where the government comes in to not to take blame for appointing Iyeki. It was not the government that appointed the president Iyeki. So I think that is their own market politics that they need to play. Now, for the issue of e-governance, you see, I don't know why PDP are crying foul over this issue. Or is it because they no longer have access to the server? Or do they not have, because you see, the truth is this, when you come to tell people to say, okay, so and so have said it's not working. I've not heard of any civil servant who complains now that they have not been able to do anything through the e-server. The only people who are crying now about it are PDP members who just left government. So maybe probably because they no longer have access to it, they now feel that it's no longer functioning. See, we cannot continue to serve our people with lies. This government, I repeat, this government is the government civil servants are now more happier. Just yesterday, I saw a letter of promotion of teachers and civil servants ahead of the 100 days in office. The same people the previous administration couldn't promote. So who is not complaining to say the server is down or the server is not working? Same people who are not civil servants and are not working in the civil service. So allow government to run the way the government needs to run. What is important is government driving development to the people. You know, the only thing they have, just the only thing they keep saying, the e-governance is not this, government is not that. Nobody's talking about now people cannot drive through. First of talking about the issue of the roads in the GRA. Is GRA the only place in Edo State that needs road? And what makes you feel that the government does not have plans to retire the roads in the GRA? There are other areas that needs road. There are roads everywhere that have been constructed by the present government. So whether you like it or not, Fares and every other members in the PDP should come out and applaud Edo State government under the leadership of Senator Monday Okpebholo, because what we see is practical. Is what guys can see. It's not what we're doing that they will not go and post according to them in their governance and be spreading, whereas you will not see it on ground. What we are talking about now are things that we can see and we can feel. By the day of the 100 days, you will be amazed of the amount of schools this government has innovated since taking over power on the 12th of November 2024.
All right. Fares, you heard him. He said civil servants are happier when compared to previous administration led by Governor Godwin Obaseki. He said the e-governance, the tech is still operational as against the complaints leveled against the administration led by Senator Monday Okpebholo. Over now to you, Fares.
Please let me quickly say that I would appeal to you to be fair with your timing, because you stopped with him before going to the break, and then when you came back, you supposed to come to me, and then you went back to him. That's not being fair.
It's all right. Just go ahead.
Going back to your question, it's quite laughable when APC members talk about e-governance, because it underlines the level of ignorance within the ruling party. They don't understand the meaning of e-governance. E-governance is a platform where most governments in the world today use. It's a system where you, as a governor, you can monitor all transactions that happen in your state. You can monitor every even from anywhere in the world. You can approve payments. You see a system where everything, every couple that is spent on anything comes to your table by you just watching a system or what we call e-governance. So you can monitor everything, you can see performance, you can see what everybody is doing, you can know where money is going to, you can know where money is coming out from, you can know who is doing this, you can know who is doing that. And that's the like a little rundown of how e-governance system work. And most governments across the world, even in Nigeria today, they are adopting e-governance because it makes it easier for you to see it. It cuts out a lot of corruption in the system. If the governor was using e-governance or has adopted e-governance and was effectively using it, he said he was an IT guru. You remember during the campaigns, they painted the governor as owning an IT company and was an IT guru. If he was really an IT guru, he would not abandon the e-governance and he would be using it. And if he was using it, first of all, he would be able to see, those monies that have been stolen as alleged by his own government, that some members of his cabinet have been stealing money that led to their suspension. If e-governance was being used, he would have been able to approve monies by himself, able to make sure that, to see that those monies were leaving the system. You can monitor every money, you can monitor every account, because every account in the state is tied to the e-governance. So when transactions are made, you as the governor, you sit in your house, in your phone from anywhere, you can see who is taking money, you can see what the money is going for, you can see who the money is going to, and you can see whatever project the money are going into. That's the essence and the beauty of e-governance. And if the governor was using that, those monies that they allege have been stolen by their own members of the cabinet would not have happened. You don't have a place where people will steal, because you cannot put a goat and a yam together and that expect the goat not to eat the yam. But the system whereby the goat and the yam are in a place and the governor have access to monitor whatever yam is being given to the goat, whatever the goat is going to do with the yam, is that platform that we call e-governance. And since the governor has not, deemed it fit to use it, he will continue to have this kind of problems of massive corruption within the system, because you are just going to expose people to taking decisions by themselves, allowing them to run governance the way they like. And when you give people that access, especially to funds, unchecked, then you have a situation whereby people will continue to dip hand into the system. But also remember that some of the things we are seeing now, things we are seeing in this government now, is not new to us. It is a promise. The governor is only fulfilling some of his promises in his electoral campaigns. So when we talk about the governor, bringing back a corrupt system of governance into the state, or bringing back insecurity into the state, these are some things that were promised during the campaign. We saw it when the governor said that he was going to bring back insecurity. So when we're talking about insecurity today, it's a promise that the governor promised during the campaign that he's fulfilling. So it's not just something new to Edo people. Edo people should not be surprised that they come out and they hear that somebody is kidnapped, or they come out and they see that people are now living in fear in the state. No, it is nothing new. It is a promise that the governor made during the campaign. The video is everywhere, where the governor promised to bring back insecurity. So everybody knows that. Everybody knows that the APC has no plan. Everybody knows that the governor has no plan. In every government coming, and then they expose their plans, and then they say, this is the plan of the government for the state. This is what we want to do in the next 2 years. This is our development plan for the state. And the state government currently has composed does not have a development plan. There's no plan. All they just do is that they are just taking to the money that they made, that Governor Obaseki left in the coffers of the state. They're just spending it recklessly, without even giving accountability, without due process. Imagine when the governor spent 5 billion, I wanted a contract of 5 billion for the purchase of vehicles. At that time, he didn't even have his cabinet, and it's against the law. It's an impeachable offense. You can't spend that kind of money in Edo State. The law doesn't permit you to spend that kind of money on vehicles without the cabinet approval.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The government just goes ahead and makes all kinds of decisions without the cabinet approval, without cabinet meetings, and all of that.
Not to worry, this discussion will be brought to you again on the day. This is just the countdown. If you can see now, our time is up. Just for the fairness of timing, how to allow parents to go on for like 4 or 5 minutes or about. So for you, Aldo, you have just 1 minute. 1 minute to summarize your point. 1 minute. Message to Edo State as we count down to 100 days in office.
Okay, now, first of all, let me correct something. I think my brother Fares is contradicting himself about the issue of corruption. We need a system. If you are saying governance is to checkmate corruption, the same governor has suspended 2 members of his cabinet over corruption cases that did not get across. So the issue of e-governance, they are being pained that they don't have access to it anymore. That is that. My own is this. Me, I'm here to assure Edo-lites that they didn't make mistake in electing Senator Okpebholo as their governor. The governor is here to deliver on his 5-point agenda for Edo people.
All right.
And I can assure them that development will be taken to another level in the next 4 years.
Thank you so much, Aldo Mohammed, for your conclusion. Fares, 30 seconds. Okay, 1 minute. Your own summation of the discussion. 1 minute, for fairness sake.
Yeah, what I can tell Edo people today is that, they should keep hope alive. We currently do not have a government in Edo State right now. The government in Edo State right now is a government that is lacking in legitimacy. It doesn't have a plan for Edo people. And the government that will take Edo people to Eldorado is on its way. And joy is coming.
All right, thank you so much, Fares. Thank you so much, Mohammed. I present wonderful analysis. Well, as it stands right now, we still have a governor. Okay, we have a governor, the person of Senator Monday Okpebholo. He's the governor of Edo State. But I know where Fares is going to. You guys know where he's going to. But until then, we just can't dive into that matter. Well, countdown to 100 days in office. We are still watching, and we'll keep reporting back to you. The comments they shared in course of this discussion is their own opinion. It has nothing to do with ITV. See you again subsequently. Bye for now.